So the Midwinter seasonal event has come to Diablo 4, so I want to go over everything you need to know about this event to farm all the currencies and get all of the new rewards. And to start off, you're going to be going to Gillian in Kovashad, who's going to start off this event for you, and the entirety of this event is going to take place within the Fractured Peaks. After you talk to him, you're primarily just going to be going and farming new enemies, new events, and the new boss of the Midwinter Blight. And while killing all of these new enemies and taking part in the new event, you'll be getting new seasonal specific currencies, the lowest of which are blighted fragments, which will be dropped from any of the new event enemies. Then you'll be finding these elite totems spread throughout the zone called frigid husks, and those will drop you the next tier up of currencies called lost heirlooms. And also there will commonly be enemies trapped inside these frigid husks, so you'll commonly find loot goblins after you kill the frigid husk that you'll also be able to kill for even more loot. And then you'll also be able to take part in the random world events in the Fractured Peaks. A lot of them will be themed around this new seasonal event, and some of these new seasonal events will also spawn the new boss of the event called the Red Cloaked Horror at the end of that event. And killing the Red Cloaked Horror will get you the Red Cloaked Horror's trophy, which is the highest tier of the new currencies. So after you've farmed up some of these currencies, you're going to go back to Kovashad and you're going to go back next to Gillian, and right next to Gillian there's going to be a table where you turn in these new currencies for Midwinter Proofs. Now, Midwinter Proofs are what you spend with Gillian to buy all of the new event cosmetics, potions, and other items. So when you turn in blighted fragments, which are from all the normal enemies, you turn in 300 of those for 1 proof. When you kill frigid husks and get their lost heirlooms, you turn in 30 of those for 1 proof, and then you turn in 1 of the Red Cloaked Horror's trophies for 1 proof. Now, as you're turning in these currencies for Midwinter Proofs, you're also going to be leveling up the tribute that's also located at the same table that you're turning in these currencies. There will be an arrow you can click that brings up a new reward window, similar to the reward track that's present at the Blood Harvest events. And there's going to be 3 different tiers, and every tier you get through from turning in these currencies is going to give you some gold and then a bag with a bunch of currencies and other rewards in it. Now, once you get to tier 3 of this reward track, you're going to unlock some additional elements to the event. So after you've spent probably around an hour farming a bunch of these currencies and turning them in for Midwinter Proofs, you should be able to get to tier 3. And once you've gotten to tier 3, this seasonal area where Gillian is at and where the table is at will also change up and have more decorations, and the totem in the middle will also be fully built, and you'll be able to click on that totem anytime you come here. That gives you around a 5-minute buff that just gives you increased damage to any of the new enemies in this event. But you'll also unlock the ability to get new bags from completing nightmare dungeons. So any nightmare dungeon in the game you complete after you've gotten to tier 3 will now also give you a bag of currencies for this seasonal event. Now, I did a couple nightmare dungeons, and all the bags I opened from those gave random amounts of lost heirlooms and of blighted fragments. Those are the 2 lower tier versions of the seasonal currencies that, again, you can turn into Midwinter Proofs. I've yet to get a Red Cloaked Horror trophy from those nightmare dungeon bags, but this will allow you to farm nightmare dungeons for glyph experience or other items and continue to get a good amount of currency from these bags. And then past that, you're just farming the same things you've been farming. You're going to the open world of Fractured Peaks, you're doing the events, killing the enemies, killing all those frigid husks, getting a bunch of loot, and getting all the currencies for the event. And also, whenever you face the Red Cloaked Horror, he drops 3+ legendary or unique items. He does seem to have a decent chance to drop unique items unless I just got very lucky. So doing those events that spawns the Red Cloaked Horror is going to be one of the main things you want to search for. But that brings us to all of the rewards for this event, because Gillian is also a vendor where you can use those Midwinter Proofs to get a bunch of different items. Now, there's going to be a bunch of different cosmetics you can get for all the different classes. There's going to be a back piece for every single class that's 50 proofs. Those are the expensive parts. Then there's going to be 8 different weapon cosmetics that are 20 proofs a piece. There's also going to be some mount cosmetics you can buy as well. And then there's going to be a new offensive legendary aspect specific to this event. I don't actually know how good good it is. It gives you attack speed and movement speed, so it seems pretty decent. There's also going to be 2 different bags you can buy. One that gives you just straight gold. I think it's around 1 million gold in World Tier 4. The other bag just gives you random items and I think some other currencies. And then you can also buy Gillian's Brew, which is only 1 midwinter proof. Now, Gillian's Brew is a new potion that's very strong. It increases your max life and lucky hit chance by 15%, and also it gives you increased experience by 15% instead of 5%. So if you have any characters you want to level up, this brew is going to be insane for leveling because this is a multiplicative experience increase. So with this and an incense popped on any of your other characters, you're going to be getting 20% increased experience that's multiplied by your world tier experience. Very good for leveling, but this potion is also really good for max level, especially if you're a build that wants more lucky hit. Using this potion, even in the Abattoir of Zir, is going to be very good. But that's pretty much the entirety of the event. You're just going to be killing a bunch of the new event enemies, farming the new event boss. Once you get a little bit into it, you can also go farm Nightmare Dungeon, get all of these currencies, and go get all these new cosmetics and new items. I think the best thing about this event, especially if you're doing endgame content, is Gillian's Brew is actually very strong for endgame characters. But that's all I want to go over, so thanks for watching.